What's up, guys? It's Aaron here. I'm going to go up to Edinburgh Fringe in August, my first show, and I can't wait. But before I do that, I need to preview the show up and down the country. So I've added a bunch of work in progress dates. Manchester's already on sale. Some of the others might be as well by the time this goes out. All the links are going to be in the description. Liam's going to join me for some of them. It's dead small rooms, dead cheap tickets. It's going to be loads of fun. Come down, let's have a laugh. I'll see you there.
You say crackers a lot. And you have to like bob and weave when he talks, right? Because it's like papa, papa, papa. Loving it. So, I work in promotion. I do this, I do that.
Yeah, just a homeless woman, and I said I'd buy her food.
What you can achieve with like oil money and modern day slavery is mental. Kicking off, you sweaty goths. That's what.
That's so true.
Apologies, I do have a bit of a cough, but it's not COVID. You know what I mean?
You've made me relieved, to be fair, because Beck, one of our colleagues, got sent home today because he came in with a mask on going, I've just tested positive, and they were like, well, what the fuck are you doing here then?
Because I've got a can-do attitude, that's why.
That's the work ethic.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why you hired me, all right?
Exactly. Do you know what? I feel for the guy, actually, because he's like, he was trying to call the boss. He's on a temp contract. He's trying to call the boss to let him know. The boss wasn't answering, and he's that scared of losing the job.
Like Eastern European or something?
Yeah, he is actually.
Right,
I didn't want to highlight that, but he is. So I think he's
imagine,
so worried of like losing the job. He's just turned. Because at first you think fucking dickhead, but I can't blame him.
I used to work in a.
Where does he put the cigarette that's constantly hanging out of his mouth if he's?
Well, I seen a prosy in Anfield smoke a ciggy through a mask. She had a hole cut in the centre of it.
I genuinely thought you meant at the ground. Then I was like, that'd be mad. Like, what's she doing? Trying to pick up punters in the car. Yeah. Salah, give me a discount, mate, lads.
Any business, lad?
Yeah. God, that's horrible.
Sorry, you were going to say something there.
I used to work with this Polish guy. I used to do a lot of temp jobs, so I've like come across Eastern Europeans who are working, and it's mad because for them they're obviously sending money back to like family. Well, this chap was in particular. I'm not just generalising there.
No, you did, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Clip this.
Clip it!
Clip it. Yeah, let me tell you, the money stays in the country. All right. Just a joke. But he was a lovely guy.
It's been literally a minute and a half.
But we were building these like electronic cabinets, and he was saying he'd been doing like temp jobs for like 10 years.
Fuck off.
And the lack of security that comes with that, but also like if you've been doing something for 10 years like that, you just become normalised to the idea of, well, I'm in here, I'm out here, and like being a temp in a place, you are treated differently. Like there is a bit of you are disposable. You are not going to be here forever.
Mate, I've been permanent at jobs and been treated like that. So.
I suppose. Yeah.
I think it's just like it keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? With your temp, you think I've got to do everything by the book until I'm made permanent, and then you're made permanent, and it's like, what's the bare minimum? Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I was always pretty good at. I had a job one time where I was putting 5 tools into a toolbox, but there was 15,000 toolboxes. Right, so we had to like pack. We're on like a line, and the guy that got me the job was a recruitment agent, and he said, "Oh, great, it's a great place to work. Like colleagues are great. Like you'll meet loads of good people." And it was like, yeah, I would have got on with everybody, but I was the only person who was English. So like they're all speaking Polish to each other, and I was just stood there like, right, okay.
I know, it's so hard being straight white.
Cut to lunchtime.
I didn't.
No one talks about the struggle of the straight white man, do they?
Again, lovely people. I'm not saying they're bad people.
Just trying to bury you in a hole.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? If you,
what it is, we know that you've got another podcast. You've got a podcast starting up soon, and we're pulling the ladder up beneath us because we've not got. Do you know what I mean? We don't have enough fucking listeners, so we brought you on here to bury you.
Cancelled?
Right, okay. Sweet.
Guilty by association, we are now.
In 3 weeks, you'll see me fighting on the front in Ukraine.
Yeah.
trying to make up for what I've done.
Still getting ostracised by his colleagues.
I'll tell you this, right? This is on the topic of like Russia and the Ukraine. This is
all of them. We're getting all of the hard-hitting topics.
This is interesting. I was doing some gigs in January in Dubai, right?
Oh,
I know that.
Flash.
Yeah, mate. It's immense. Have you ever been?
No, it's one of those places that are kind of like, and you can answer this for me. The Instagram versus reality puts me off. Joe, is it just like what we see in pictures?
I would describe.
No, is there like a sinisterness to it?
There is. I would describe it as like it's like if Instagram created a city, that would be it.
Yeah.
Right. But there is an undertone where it's modern day slavery going on everywhere, right? And they get lads from like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, India, and they
Salford.
Make us laugh now.
I live in Salford. That's all. But
You
yeah,
coward.
these lads are building skyscrapers and they're getting paid like nothing. Essentially, the deal is, okay, you we'll fly you over, we'll give you housing, and we'll obviously like give you equipment and things like that. But that racks up to say like 10 grand, and then they go, but now you've got to pay that back to us.
Fuck off. Because of
Across your
board.
time, yeah.
Yeah. But obviously within that, they're building skyscrapers. So it's modern day slavery. And the mental thing is, that's going on around you, and then you've got like Maseratis, Lamborghinis, all these mad wealthy people knocking about. And I would say to like people that live there, I'd be like, that's mental, like what's going on over there? And they're just like, yeah, how great is Dubai? And you're like, no. But that's not right. And they're like, yeah, but they're so good workers. And it's like, yeah, but they don't get fucking paid. Like they're literally, basically, like this. I got told this. There was a guy living there. There was because it's ran by the royal family. Okay, there's no government. You aware of this?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. But as soon as you said the royal family,
Yeah, right.
imagine Ricky Tomlinson.
There's no government. There's no government. So like the royal family have absolute say, right? They pass down rules. If you lose your job in Dubai, there's no pension. It's all private. Everything's privatized. Healthcare, pension. So like if you lose your job, you have to leave the country pronto, because essentially like you're not welcome.
Really?
Yeah, because there's no system in place for it. But the summer, I went in January and it was 27 degrees, right? Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah, right.
I melt at 90.
Right, okay. And the lifeguard's wearing a fucking fleece. Right? That's the bit
Do you make you feel fucking stupid when you go, like, we went to Barcelona recently and it's like 25 and we're like, oh, isn't this lovely? And there's literally people with like North Face jackets on. You're like, you're wearing a fucking ski coat? What's wrong with you?
The sky's grey and you got shorts on, just being optimistic.
This lifeguard's wearing a fleece, and I was chatting to this fella about the heat in the summer, and they said like from January to April is like a nice time of year, right? As soon as it hits May, it's getting like 30 degrees, and in the summer it's like 45, 50 degrees. So obviously everybody just stays inside, because you go outside and you fucking melt. But these lads building skyscrapers don't stop, right?
That's insane.
And you see people. They were telling me anyway.
And they're getting closer to the sun, the more they build as well. Fucking nightmare, isn't it? Hey, does it feel hotter? No, you're just 4 levels higher, Darren. 4 stories up, pal.
Heat rises, mate. Come on. They collapse of heat exhaustion, and then they just get wheeled off, and then they wheel another one in. And this is going on, right? And that's what's mental.
What is the one who gets wheeled in? Has he collapsed previously, but he's just had a Capri Sun?
No,
he just comes
they
back.
just dunked him in ice and then straight back out.
Meanwhile, there's an influencer shitting on someone's chest just to his
That's
right.
the maddest thing, though. Like, you're talking all this horrible stuff, but then it's just like you said, it's Instagrammer's paradise. It's just...
I've not even got to the maddest bit yet, right? Okay. So
really?
the 45 degrees is what it can... There was a piece of legislation that was passed by the royal family to say, if the temperature goes past 45 degrees, all construction has to stop, right? And this was passed like a few years ago. And since then, the official temperature of Dubai has never exceeded 45 degrees. So like, lie. You might be sat there thinking, it's like 48 here, but they're like, yeah, but our thermometer says it's 45. And you're like, right, okay. And there's enough desert in that place that if you piss them off, they'll get rid of you. So I found it fascinating when I was over there. And
then you were
next
like,
time he's invited for gigs, this will flag up. Just watch your back, lad. What are the crowds like there?
It's expats, so it's like you get a lot of British, South Africans, loads of Saffers. First night we were there, do you know George Zach?
Yeah.
So it was me, George Zach, and a guy called Ron Josel, who is a Canadian act. He'd love the guy, funny as well. He'd been gigging
the bare minimum of being a comic.
No, but like
nice and funny.
His style, I know I said he's Canadian, but like his style was so American. Like he didn't MC at all. Like there was no. He literally went on and just like bang, 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 bang. But the rooms are quite cold when you go on. So like you've
only thing that is by the sounds of it.
You've genuinely got to like kind of just get it going a bit. He was telling me some mad stories about him being like with Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, like mad stories because yeah, he obviously is on that circuit. He went to Russell Peters' wedding. He's like really good mates with Russell Peters. Okay, you know.
Yeah, I know who Russell Peters
I
is.
don't
Yeah.
know. I know the name.
He was huge
massive.
at one point.
He's
Oh well, he
fucking
still
massive.
is, but just not so much in the UK. But
Yeah,
he is.
he makes 30 million a year
Yeah.
as a comic, right? You recognise Russell Peters, but essentially Ron is like, yeah, I was at Russell's wedding, and he's like, mate of mine, and then he's going through the Instagram story he's got of his wedding, right? And I'll give you 3 guesses to the band that played at Russell Peters' wedding.
Simply Red.
The Kooks.
No, the Kooks.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Kooks.
because
Bring
he's a
back the
massive
Kooks.
fan of the Kooks, and he's like,
he's
yeah,
got the same
hey,
views on,
play Naive. yeah.
He's the only one that can get Oasis back together. He's the only one.
Right, so go on. You said the Kooks. You said
I said Simply Red.
Simply Red.
We've got one more guess. The Black Eyed Peas.
That is a cool guess, but the wrong guess.
Steps.
He had Nile Rodgers and Chic.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
know
a
who they
guess.
are.
Oh,
Chic.
I've seen them.
I want your love.
Yeah.
They're like disco classics.
Freak out.
Oh, yeah, I know that,
Freak out.
Everybody dance.
Oh, yeah, I know that,
Clap
yeah.
your hands. Clap your hands. Mate,
Going.
Demonetized. We've just
I like this.
We've just
Well, I
qualified for
feel like I
monetization.
feel like it's my wedding.
and when I say it is like a proper band, I mean they're fucking dance routines and everything. It's not just
Yeah.
like he's stepped from table 4 on stage.
I
put a
saw them
guitar
live
on.
as well, and it goes off because that Nile Rodgers, he's produced so much
Yeah,
music that they just play like Madonna and everything because he's like,
Yeah.
wrote
Even
on the
Naive by the
albums and
Kooks.
stuff. The cover was sick. The guitar was jangling.
Yeah. He does Happy Birthday. Like, you didn't fucking write that.
Who would you have play at your wedding if you could have anyone?
Oh, mate.
Because I feel like I'd have to take the piss a little bit. You can't.
I think Chic's a great shout.
It's got to be
I-
It's got to be
like
someone up
disco.
tempo, hasn't
Yeah.
it? But
90s nostalgia.
I'd tell you I'd have, right? I would have Fleetwood Mac.
okay.
But one of them's just died, hasn't he?
Yeah, but mate,
In a ski boat
I'm
accident, I
talking
heard.
like peak Fleetwood Mac.
What, you build a time machine, you get them back?
Yeah.
Come on, we're being realistic here, Harry.
Inject some reels
Mac,
into
yeah.
the pod, will you?
Yeah.
The Mac would get everyone going.
Oh, mate, they'd be unreal. My sister went on a first date to go and see Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
The guy got
Fucking state.
How?
yeah, this was years ago.
How'd you? What's date number 2? You're not going
She
to the
fucked
Odeon.
him off after date number 1, mate.
Oh, she
Yeah.
went to see the Mac for free and
Yeah.
fucked him right off.
She doesn't
She
even
went-
like him. That's why they binned her off.
Literally, like, finished the gig and went, you can go your own way.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
I'd get busted, me. Busted for my wedding. Fucking 90s classics, mate. Busted. You're not keen on that, no?
No.
No? Am I alone there?
yeah.
Ask me
Ben's
to
a
dance
big
at
like
the disco.
McFly fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
Big
that, yeah.
McFly
Banging.
fan.
Yeah.
Who would you have?
I'd go see Busted, mate.
I've
Do you
been
want to come? Tickets go on sale tomorrow.
I've been to see McBusted. I
Fuck
went
off.
back in the day
Oh, I'm
with one of my
jealous, lad.
pals, and it was one of those where like I remember it so well. So they did Children in Need, and I was watching it, and I messaged my mate as they were on, like, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" And we bought tickets like the following day when they went on sale, and then it came around like 8 months later, and we were like, "Why the fuck are we here?" Do you know,
Yeah.
like because we were like 15, and the amount of growing up we did between fucking 15 and 16 was like massive. And we were like, "Why the fuck are we here?" And then as soon as it came on, we were like, "Stagger."
That's it. It's all nostalgia. Like, were you not into them when you were younger? No, we're about the same age, aren't
Yeah,
we?
I'm 28.
Okay, yeah, you're too young. Yeah,
Oh,
but
dear.
you just act older than me. I always think you're older than me.
How would you think?
Proper old soul, aren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. I'm 32.
Old soul.
I'm 32.
Yeah,
No, I don't think you're.
You
not-
used the word crackers.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
it was crackers.
It's crackers, that. Yeah. What's wrong with that? That's like I live with my housemate Sam, and
Is he a divorced dad as well?
yeah. We both have our kids on alternative weekends.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you can still play FIFA when you're there.
Yeah.
co-parents.
Yeah, we got the guest bedroom. We just change the letter on the door each week. But might be a bit that. Actually, might be a bit. Oh fucking hell! Sorry.
COVID.
Living with Sam, like you have language that you use all the time, right? I am like 2 peas in a pod with my dad. We are so
Two
similar.
peas in a pod. No one under 30's ever said that
No,
before.
Everybody knows that phrase. But
Do you? Yeah.
No one uses it though.
yeah, what, we're the same. Yeah, 2 peas in a pod, it's easier. More words, but it's straightforward. But we like, I get told all the time, God, you're so much like your dad, you're so much like your dad. And it's not a case of like trying to be, it's
You
just...
might say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, which means we're the same. I have a lot of my dad's mannerisms. Like, my mum will say often to me, like, God, you remind me so much of your dad. And even, like, relatives, my auntie, my dad's sisters, like, it's mad how similar you are as people. And crackers is something which, when I was a kid, it was always said. And it's just like, I say it a lot, and my housemate Sam is like, yeah, before living with you, I never said that at all.
Rubs off,
and now he's like, oh yeah, it's crackers that. And I was dating a girl one time who was like, you say that a lot. And I was like,
we need to talk.
He's got so
You don't know what's going to come up.
he got so pressed at us. Turns out it's a quite a common occurrence in his life that this gets brought.
but like,
What you mean?
but yeah, just like it's a versatile word. Use it for anything. You know what I mean? Because if someone shows you something,
red flag in his relationship.
if someone shows you something on their phone, I like, you said going, that's mad. You go, it's crackers that. It's just.
Or boss, you could apply it for good, bad, shit.
Nah, no.
Boss.
It's like, that's mad. Like, that's crackers, yeah. Or trying to get here was crackers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
When I was with George Zach in Dubai, he kept going to me. It was his Greek, and he goes, "You say crackers a lot," and he goes, "Crackers, everything is crackers." And I was like, "Yeah, it is, isn't it, mate? Yeah." I was like, "Your accent is crackers."
It blows me away every time you do accents how well you could actually do
You are
them. Have
good
you
at
ever heard his
accents,
South
yeah.
African accent?
No, I've heard your Welsh. That's phenomenal. You've got to do both now.
Today, my name is
Well,
Kevin.
okay.
Do you have an
I
entrance
stopped doing
phrase?
that bit. What do you mean?
Like, full.
Sometimes, yeah, but it's so I'll tell you this, right? Obviously, it sounds like I'm just trying to sell the fact I was in Dubai, but this is relevant. So the first day in Dubai, this is crackers. No, honestly,
We've made him so insecure now.
no. So first day in Dubai, me and George fly from Manchester Airport, and you fly. First time I've been on an Emirates flight. Okay, so I was like, this is bougie plane, and I walked onto the plane. And I looked at George, and he's done this gig many a time. He like flies all over the fucking world. So we get on the plane, and I go, George, mate, this is well nice, this business class. And he went, mate, this is economy. Right? And I was like, fucking hell. So I get a whole row to myself. We sit down. George is like, yeah. He's like, I fly all the time. that's not him.
That was South African. That was.
So he's like, I fly all the time. So he goes and sits at the back of the plane. We land that night. We do a show, and there's 8 people sat on the front row. There's more people there than that, but you get what I mean. 8 couples sat on the front row, and they turned out to be South African, right? And I have a bit where I used to live with a friend of mine he's from South Africa, and when I do the bit, I go, he's Dutch descent, so he speaks Afrikaans, his tone of voice is quite harsh. So when he talks, the words come at you, like they are attacking you, and you have to like bob and weave when he talks, right? Because it's like papa, 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 papa. And I'm doing this bit, right?
Insane.
So
And
It's like we got
stupidly good,
Dustin on.
Yeah.
In fact, yours is more authentic than this. So this is real.
Mate, I got rinsed at Castlefield Comedy Club when I ran that, because Dustin, I did that bit, and Dustin went on afterwards. He was like, I don't fucking sound like that. He goes, you make me sound like I'm a fucking villain. We don't always talk like. Oh, fuck Harry, man. So
I actually reckon, like, to an audio listener, if you just started like that, they'd think we'd got Dustin on again.
Well, yeah.
So good.
It was.
I've done to the Saffers in the front row, and they say after the gig, they go, do you want to come on a boat party tomorrow? Right. And I was like, yeah, fucking yes. So says it to George, and we both gone, right, okay. Thought nothing of it really, but they were like, give us your number. Next day, me and George were like, do you think this is going to happen? And they said, meet us at this place in the marina at 12 o'clock.
You'd be so easy to traffic, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be building skyscrapers next minute.
exactly.
Take your passports, get him up, 45 degrees.
Some lad looking at me
Hey,
going,
it's warm, innit?
yeah. What part of Bangladesh are you from? Yeah. Honestly, like,
Doing his Bangladesh accent.
I just live in Salford, mate. That's all. So I
Fucking hell.
get on this boat with George, and it's a fucking yacht. Right? It's a massive yacht, and there's 3 birthday parties going on this yacht that are like groups of their friends. So there's 8 people we met, and there must be about 30 people on this yacht. And me and George get on with a bottle of vodka at midday. Right? Okay. And the boat pulls out, and it's the only time I've been on a fucking yacht, and the only day in Dubai that it fucking rained. Right?
Oh.
So he's absolutely lashing it down in the middle of the ocean. Right? I couldn't have been more wet in the entire life. Right? And we're on this boat with all these South Africans, and these South Africans from the show were going, "Oh, Harry, like, see if you can guess who's who with their accents, right? Who's South African?" And I got a pretty good like ear at times, and I was like chatting around, and this guy goes, he goes, "Where do you think I'm from?" And I went, because he said that, I just thought, "You're from Zimbabwe, right?" Because like, you ever seen Blood Diamond?
No. But I know what it is. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio's character is from Zimbabwe, and it was formerly Rhodesia, and he sounds South African, but like,
Yeah, I thought it was South African. Yeah.
But when he said, yeah, can you tell where I'm from? And as soon as he said that, I thought, you're not South African. Like I'm gonna go South African. You go Zimbabwe, and I went Zimbabwe, and I went formerly Rhodesia, and then he was like fucking fully erect. I was like, yes, mate, I've nailed it. Didn't mention that I'd watched Blood Diamonds. You know what I mean? But the mad thing is, I feel like this is your podcast, and I'm just fucking motormouthing.
No, you're fine. No worries.
The mad thing was, right, so they're like expats over there, but there's no community to Dubai, really. It's mad. Like, you go to a city and it's got a feel to it, you know. Dubai it's so big, and there are so many things going on there. There's like pockets, but it doesn't have, it's 30 years old. So it's popped up out of nothing.
Is it really?
Yeah, mate, it's 30 years old.
I found that out about Vegas recently. Vegas is not as old as you think. Obviously, sorry to interrupt you, but like when you find stuff out like that, you just think it's a country. It's existed for 300 years. It's not 400, 500. You think it's... But
what you can achieve with like oil money and modern day slavery is mental. Right, it is absolutely.
There's a soundbite. Sounds like it's like he's selling it to us. He's been fucking. He's been transitioned while he's over there. He's one of them now.
I did a. In fact, I'm not going to say that because I want to go back.
Tell us afterwards.
Yeah. I did a radio interview, and the person speaking to me before the interview was like, fucking, she said something really funny, and I was like, I'm not going to repeat that because I want you to succeed.
Turn his mic up.
Yeah. I'm on this boat with George Zach, and it's fucking crackers. Okay. And we sat down, and they're all like South African. You get a few Aussies, but like they're not born there. They've just kind of moved to that area. So there's this guy I'm chatting to, and his name's James, right? And I was like, "Oh, James, how long have you been in Dubai for?" And he goes, "I've been over here about 12 years now, you know, loving it, absolutely loving it." He said, "Yeah, I work in promotion, I do this, I do that." And I was like, "All right, yeah, cool, man, cool." I said, "Whereabouts are you from?" And he went, "I'm from Madrid." And I went, "What?" yeah. And I'm sat with George Zach, and he goes, "What the fuck?" And I'm literally, and I could see his face go, "I've explained this 1,000 times."
Yeah, right? He was sick of.
Yeah. And what the fuck? And he goes, yeah, I'm from Madrid. And I went, I was like, "Mate, you sound like you're from Dublin." You know what I mean? And he goes, "Yeah, no, the thing is, when I was learning English, I learned it from Irish teachers. So I speak English in an Irish accent." And I was like,
That is
okay, yeah.
But it makes perfect sense.
But the mad thing is, right, he introduced himself as James, but his actual name is fucking Hammers. You can't be from Dublin going, "My name's Hammers." And it was crackers. So we get on the boat at 12, we drink a bottle of vodka, me and George, right, and get off the boat at 4, and like I got to do a gig that night at 8, and I'm like,
bad idea, yeah.
My head is pounding.
Hold on. What's the drinking situation in Dubai? That's another thing I'm confused about.
If you
can only do it in the ocean.
International waters.
Yeah. People doing happy hour on a lilo. Yeah.
Well, actually, you got too hammered though, and then like, you've got to get back to you because at the end of the night, the worst part is that Uber home when you're like, "Fuck it," honestly, you're just swimming back to shore.
The bars are out there. They just got waiters swimming out to you, drinks on the red,
speedos.
Yeah. So we get off the boat at 4, me and George levered, and then that night I had to go and do a gig, and I woke up half an hour before the show, and the show is downstairs in the hotel, and I'm like hungover and pissed at the same time.
Oh, that's the worst.
And like really, my head's like fucking.
That's what happens when you drink early and stop in it. You feel it like the hangover creeping in real time.
I was swaying, like I'm usually pretty good on booze, but I was swaying, and I got basically.
You drank a bottle of vodka, lad.
You what?
You drank a bottle of vodka in that country.
But yeah, it was mental.
I meant because of the heat, not because of.
But went and did the gig, and then I met Stephen Taylor. you know the former Newcastle United defender?
No, I'm not a footy guy. Yeah, it's lost on us. Yeah.
No, forget it then. Yeah.
I don't feel like this is the podcast for you. I think that all these references are just fucking. Well, no idea what you're on about.
I thought he was South African though.
But yeah, that's my mad thing. But that guy's accent was absolutely crackers. It was because it's like. Yeah, I mean accents in general are mad. Like me,
I love hearing it with Scousers. Do you know, like people who've emigrated from other countries to Liverpool, and their English accents has that slight Scouse twinge.
Well, it's like my mum's from North Yorkshire, and my dad's from Manchester, and then I've got 3 sisters, and my dad was married before, and my 2 sisters are from my dad's first marriage, and he was married to a Scouser. So like they've got this like really kind of soft Scouse tone. And we all grew up in the same house for a period of time when I was younger.
You grew up down south?
Yeah, I grew up down south. Yeah,
you sound mank to me.
Yeah, well, this is
super mank.
Super mank. Yeah, I've always
proper Jason Manford style mank.
Yeah, see, I was Ben Hart the other day. He only realised that I grew up down south the other day.
Was it MK?
Yeah. But this is really you never knew.
I did not know. Yeah.
See, I was sort of saying to sorry, I didn't mean to cough then. Ben was doing my voice to me, like back to me, and I was like, you don't hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, because he said, oh, you sound like really Salford. And I was like, we had Carl Porter on our podcast yesterday.
Yeah.
Carl Porter sounds Salford.
You're not far apart, though. You're not that far apart.
I mean, I don't hear it myself.
He's just more animated, yeah. Do you not know?
He's more animated and blonde. But there was like, I just find accents fascinating. And this Hammers guy, if you anyone met him, you were like, he's from Dublin. And then when he was like, I'm from Madrid, and he looked Spanish, you know what I mean? Yeah. He did definitely look fucking Irish. But yeah, absolutely crackers.
Can you do pretty much any accent? If we gave you one, could you do it?
I don't know, mate. I'm not like go on, give us.
Don't play it now, like
he's just nailed 5 different ones off the cuff.
Yeah, but like I don't feel like it's a conscious effort. Me being like with you now, like it's just it doesn't. I don't wake up every day thinking right, I've got to be like this person. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you dropped into that Irish
so easy, yeah. Like, can you do impressions of people? Like, if I said to you, do an impression of Conor McGregor, could you do it?
Well, it's just like sound bites, isn't it? It's like, what's the thing? He goes, "You'll do fucking nothing. You'll do nothing." It's like it's not great.
It's Irish.
Yeah.
It's Irish. Needs to be more scally. That was quite posh.
You'll do fucking nothing. Who the fuck is this guy? Yeah,
that's terrible.
No. Yeah. We'll cut that. Get it out. I had a funny moment on Saturday at the Comedia in Bath. They had a signer on stage, obviously for a load of deaf people.
Yeah, they're quite common now, aren't they? Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it at the Edinburgh Fringe.
Honestly,
but it was kind of like I've seen it with like live subtitles and stuff. When it was at the Fringe, it was just annoying because all the actors came out and was like, "Oh, will that type out whatever I say?" And they'll go, "Oh, tits," and then it'll come up. And you go, but like after an hour of it, it's like fucking tedious, man.
And how do they like convey the delivery and stuff? That's the thing.
Well, that's what I was like taking the mick out of, because I get on stage, it's 400 in, it's chocker, right? And I've emceed the gig like the 4th time, and it's usually good, but it can be quite rowdy. But the rowdiness builds, you know what I mean? So I get introduced to Paul, the signer, and he's been doing this 30 years. And if I'm stood centre stage, he's like to my right, but I can see him peripherally. You can see him to my side.
Did you get halfway through the sign and fuck it up every time you were saying it?
He went, I think you're trying to say this. But he's doing his thing, right? Which is obviously not that, but he's doing it. And
wanking off a couple of boys.
Solid invisible room extreme.
Yeah. I can see him to me right. And it's mad because I was like, it feels like he's in your head. You know what I mean? Because it's like, comedy's so lonesome, you're up there on your own, and I've got this guy to me right just going away. And I said, this feels absolutely mental, and then looked at him to see what that was, and he went, and I'm like, this is funny, right? So
did the gig start at like 3:30 in the morning when nobody was awake?
Yeah, funny that. I made a joke saying once the gig's done, we're going to go back to Paul's house or watch the telly, and he's going to be stood next to it just doing that. So I've like set the gig up. And Stephen Grant goes on, who fantastic comedian. Like he's no. You're thinking of Stephen Cookson.
Yes, I am.
Stephen Grant is based down south, but like one of the best MCs. He's so sharp. You ever worked with Stephen?
No, but I've
so fast, like just name. And like he did this bit in the crowd where he was speaking to this guy, and he said, "What'd you do?" And he was with a girl, and he said, "Oh, I work in robotics." And then he goes, "All right, okay, and this is your girlfriend?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Did you build her?" And I was like, great fucking line, right? Yeah. And he was just very sharp. So Stephen goes on, smashes it, right? And he's doing a set, so I really enjoyed watching him like do his thing because I've only ever seen him MC. He then finishes his set, and the break comes. I then come back on after the start of the second section, and there's this group of lads who at the start of the show, there was a stagging, and they're like, like that, right? And I'm going, I'd spoke to these guys at the start of the gig, and they were pissed, like really pissed at 8:15. So I said, lads, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes to tell me something about you. And it was just like vows coming out of them, you know, and I was like, stag do, like that. Who's the stag? And I went, you're boring me, right? I'm done with you. I've given you 2 minutes. You fucked it up. I'm moving on, right? So I start talking to other people in the room. So that's happened in the first section. Second section, I come back on.
Maybe they learn English from like watching like some
yeah,
sort
maybe
of TV
just a
show.
Viking horde.
Yeah. Maybe they learn English from 1066 Hastings. Maybe
lads, get in your longboat and fuck off, right? So I go back on, start the second section, and Paul is to my right, and I say, I go right. I said, this is mad having Paulie. I said, I've usually comedies on your own. I said, and I enjoy that. I prefer being on my own on stage. I said, this is the closest I'll ever get to being in a band, right? Gets a bit of a laugh. And then I go, so where are the deaf people tonight then, right? A few hands go up, right? And it's 400 seats and it's like top deck. So I go, if anyone's sat at the back, you know, I do apologise. Yeah, hopefully you got your binoculars out and all that. Just light stuff. That corner makes a noise, right? And I hear, stop talking about deaf people, right? So I go, what did you just say? Right? Yeah. I go, because I go, what did you just say? And I hear something again, and I was like, what? And then I hear someone go, he goes, I'm deaf. And I went, no, you're not. Right? Yeah, I went, no, you're not. And he went, I am deaf. And I went, no, you're pissed, right? And I said, and I was speaking to you earlier, and I was like, you're 100. And sadly, my camera, I usually record everything, he's got every moment after this. Yeah. I was gutted because it would have been a great fucking clip, right? So I'm going, I go, you're not deaf. I go, I'm not having it. Because I'm like, he's trying to like pull me pants down.
You're not deaf, you're from Zimbabwe, formerly Rhodesia.
Yeah, but he's like screaming at me essentially. And he goes, I can lip read. And I went, well, your eyesight's fucking good, mate, because you're miles away, right? And then his mate goes, in a tone that implies it's 100% accurate, yeah, he is deaf. Oh. And he can lip read, right?
You fucking nearly had him holding up his blue badge at you, for fuck's sake.
Where have you parked? But yeah,
do deaf people have to park closer? Do they get the blue badge?
I don't know. They never hear the sensors though.
Fucking hell, lad.
Come on. That's all right.
We've got merch. Finally, we've got merch.
We've been talking about doing this for ages and we've finally made it happen. We've got our own online store at spreadnegativitypod.com. We're selling t-shirts with logos. We're selling queefs. Whatever you want, we've got it.
We're selling queefs in a jar if you want one. We've got beanies, mugs, phone cases, loads of stuff like that, so check it out. But if you do order something, and I cannot stress this enough, order one size up. I'm a large to extra large in most things. I've got a 2XL in this. Liam, you'll notice, doesn't even have a hoodie yet because they're still making his out of a bed sheet, right? Proper nightmare stuff.
Check us out, spreadnegativitypod.com. If there's anything that you want and you don't see, let us know. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. And we will get better at these adverts as time goes on. Okay, so in this section we do like features and we've got like a Reddit post as well. So we've had one that's been sent in by a listener and then I've got another one, but I've seen that online.
Okay, features.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so people sending like looking for advice, telling us about the worst thing they've...
The last thing I saw was a friend who... Someone was friends with someone who had a kid. The kid was being a dickhead. Yeah. They were like, "Yeah, I don't want to be around this person until you sort your kid out." Yeah. And I thought, I agree with you.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
Yeah, just like that is an issue. Like you need to address that. And yeah, I don't know what it was like when you were kids, but I used to get told like, "Do not fucking embarrass me," because like if you want, I will embarrass you massively in this situation.
You get grogged by your dad.
Gets his cock out in that.
Mate, I got pulled in a swimming pool. Sorry, before you do this, I got pulled in a swimming pool. I was about 12, right, and I'd got an MP3 player. Do you know, it looked like a memory stick. I got one of them, right, and it was the shit. I remember being like, this is great.
6 songs on it.
Yeah, mate, I had Confessions. Album, Usher. Yeah.
You know.
Love that album.
I used to have like loads of Craig David all over, that sort of shit, like Rewind Garage.
So good. So I had this MP3 player, and we're on holiday. I'm at the campsite and at the swimming pool, and I've got like a vest on, some cargo shorts, and my MP3 player in my pocket, and this
coolest like rig outside.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, I was like I'm 12 and I look the shit. Right? Okay. Honestly, I look like
Lara Croft Room Raider over here.
Yeah. I look like every lad that had been rejected on like X Factor. It was a bad period of time for me, my pubescent years. And this lad who was like a friend, we just met when we were over there. He was in the pool and he put his hand out like that, and as he grabbed my hand, he's obviously just pulled me in, right? My MP3 player's in my pocket, and I remember getting out of the pool, and where I get out of the pool, if you look directly to the left, there's like a poolside bar. My dad at this point, my dad was a scary fucking guy when I was a kid, man.
Still is now, let's be honest.
I wouldn't want to fight the fucker. But he would smoke like a chimney. And my dad is like the colour of Dale Winton, right? Like he is mahogany, right? And it is all natural, right?
None of that piss booing.
Honestly, mate, yeah. He looks like the fucking floor, right? So I get pulled in the pool.
Is Dale Winton the supermarket?
He is,
yeah. So my dad's like, and I can see him.
Go and get me a baseball bat.
I walk up and I say to my dad, what's happened? He's like, why are you wet? And I went, I just got pulled in the pool. And I was like, my MP3 player's in my pocket. And he just went fucking ballistic. Yeah. So like,
he's bought that, hasn't he?
Yeah. But like, I got a dressing down to like publicly, just like fucking da. And like, I remember my clothes hurting. That's how much he was shouting, right? And he went to me. He goes, right, well, get your fucking kit off now. Get it off because it needs to dry out. So I'm like stood there in piss wet Cherokee Tesco boxes, right? Absolute baby knob on. Just like,
what was this? Tuesday?
Bigger than your knob.
Yeah. Honestly, a 12-year-old with a 6-year-old's dick, just getting absolutely rinsed by my dad. And I remember leaving the pool. And families were coming in, and I'm like stood holding my wet clothes, and my daddy's still just berating me as people are walking in. And like, albeit I'd been in the pool and water was on my face, it didn't mask the tears that was streaming down. And I just remember thinking, like, my parents were great parents, but my dad, he was great at being like, all right, if you want to go big in this situation, I will go fucking atomic on you. Yeah. And my mum and dad had a different approach. Yeah, he would bollock like other kids, and I'd like, no shame. I had a party one time and he came downstairs and was like, you lot need to be quiet, right? I'm trying to sleep. And I was like, all my mates are just... But yeah, big shout out. Love me, dad.
Right, should we crack on?
Sorry, yeah.
No, it's all right. No worries. So, like I say, people have sent some things in. Features? I do features.
Feature me, baby.
Sick. Okay, good stuff. So, this one came in and the subject was all block capitals with "Keep me anonymous." Ooh, so I think this person's quite set on being keep me anonymous. Anyway, so Hayley says, now I'm next. So this one says, hey Aaron and Liam, in a bit of a tricky situation and could use some advice. Went out on date night with my boyfriend last week. We're in a restaurant and everything is going good. After a little while, I glance across the room and see my best friend's dad is in the same restaurant having food. Here's the issue. He was having food with a woman I didn't recognise. He's married to my friend's mum and it was not her. At first I didn't think much of it. Men and women can be friends, but it's quite a romantic restaurant and they were quite touchy-feely at times. It looked like much more than just friends. My boyfriend and I had to pass by their table in order to leave, and when we did, I let on and said hello. We exchanged really awkward pleasantries and he looked really nervous. It's never been awkward before. I've known him and his family for 15 years and I've even been on holiday with them. I don't know what to do. There's a good chance they are just friends and that's absolutely fine, but I can't get how shifty he acted when he saw me and how close they seemed out of my head. Do I bring it up with my friend and tell her that Do I bring it up with my friend and tell her that her dad may be cheating on her mum, or do I let it work itself out as it's not my place? Help me, please.
Oh. Okay, and where does it say this happened? Just a restaurant? Huh? Just a restaurant?
They were just in a restaurant. So she's gone into a restaurant, having food with a boyfriend, everything's sound. Noticed that
a friend's dad with another woman seemed quite touchy-feely.
Yeah.
and she's then walked past.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would walk past the table.
Would you let on? Would you like go up there, Billy Big Bollocks?
No, I wouldn't.
Well, they've had to walk past to leave, it says.
Right, okay.
So, like, if he sees her and then she just doesn't say anything, that's weirder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, why is XYZ person? Why is why is Stacey? Fake name. But why has she just ignored me, Joe, if it is platonic?
It depends how, like, familiar they are, because if you...
on holiday.
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Like you're a close family friend.
Yeah, that's the maid
Joe,
from
what
the
though?
villa.
Like, you can't...
yeah. Oh my God, what are you doing here? Espanol! Yeah.
You can't assume, though, that, like... Do you know what I mean? It's fucking 2023. They could be in an open relationship. Maybe mum's in on
I
it.
think, mate, they're knobbing each other. That's what I reckon.
No, but maybe mum's, like, keen on that.
No, I
Maybe
don't.
Not in a restaurant.
No. Yeah.
Like, I think if you are in an open relationship, that's absolutely fine. Maybe
I don't fucking buy a tea.
You're not going to fucking Australasia. Do you know what I mean? That's not the vibe.
His actual wife's at home having warmed up spag bol, right? And he is staring across at this lady that he's definitely got the eyes for.
Yeah.
That to me seems, the way his reaction came across, that to me is something is up.
But the question is, like, all right, so ignore my thing about, like, what if she's in on it? If that is the case, like, do you blow everything up? Like, if you tell your mate,
just get a bomb out there and then just go,
I'm taking you down.
I'll tell Karen.
You've got your mobile like that, your iPhone.
Yeah, a boyfriend stood there like, where the fuck did you get Semtex from?
Like one of those paedophile hunter videos, just like, who are you here to me?
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
That's good. Yeah. Oh, I've done a bad thing.
I saw one of those pedo hunter videos.
Ruin my meal.
So hang on, the boyfriend, I wonder, because I feel like if I was the girlfriend or boyfriend in that situation and you've noticed that, your evening is then going to become a conversation about that. You know what I mean? You're not going to be like, oh, that's my mate's dad. Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, because you're going to be asking why you going
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
So, I think that's definitely like a fishy scenario. What would I do in that situation? I would, if I was I would approach the dad whenever it was. I wouldn't like
and ask for hush money.
Like, knock on. He goes, oh, you're here to see Sophie? She goes, no, I'm here to see you.
Yeah, and he's like,
I'm not the only woman this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stick the kettle on. I'll meet you in the conservatory. So she sits in there. I reckon if I was her, I would go and speak to the dad, and I would just say, like quite casually, just like, yeah, I saw you the other day, didn't I? In the Pizza Express, wherever it was. And,
romantic restaurant, fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's quite a romantic restaurant. Yeah, Weatherspoons.
I don't know, a voucher, whatever. But so I would approach it that way, and then I'd be like, right, I see you with this person, and depending on what their read is after that, because if they're like playing it down massively or immediately go, oh yeah, she's just a friend, you'd be like, that's quite defensive. You know what I mean?
So you'd like analyze the situation further.
Yeah.
I think I'd just be like, not my mess. I think I'd just be like...
But you're not accusing him of anything. You're just saying, oh,
You've
I
come
saw
round to see him and only him.
Yeah, I suppose.
You've lit up a cigar in the conservatory.
I suppose, yeah. I would say something, though, I would say something.
Would you?
I feel like you have to tell her, because if it all goes south,
yeah,
like in the future, and you know, then the guilt's going to eat you alive, because you've got to console your mate. So if you go up to him and go, right, okay, I saw your dad in this restaurant. If he is cheating, then they're not going to be mad at you for seeing it, and what you've got them out of a shitty situation sooner. Do you know what I mean? And they're going to be grateful to you for telling. It might be a bit eggy, a bit awkward, but also, if he's not cheating, it's just a hilarious story, and nothing bad happens to you. Do you know what I mean? Because they go, fucking hell, no, that's Stacey from work. I don't know why Stacey's in my mind. She's not called Stacey, this woman. But you go, oh, that's that fucking. No, I work with her. No, it's sound. Yeah, absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. And
put it this way, right? Say if you were in a relationship with someone, and you knew yourself that you were cheating, right? Okay, you know you're cheating, and you think they have no idea, and you carry that with you, right? But then the person you're in the relationship with is equally cheating themselves and thinks you have no idea.
Okay, so both people are cheating.
Yeah. How would you feel knowing that, like, someone's been honest with the other before? Like, so if me and you're in a relationship, and and you say, "Oh, I've been cheating on you," and I go, "Fucking hell!" Like, well, I've been, doesn't make what I've been doing right.
Yeah, but you just go 1-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? 1-1 sound.
Right, play to extra time.
Yeah, we got a second leg.
Stoppage time. Let's keep this game going.
Golden goal. First one to go and get it in their partner.
Just 1-1.
But yeah, I think in that scenario, it is always best to. Honesty is always the best policy. So I would just, if I was the girl, I'd say to the dad, "I saw you in that restaurant." Like, and you don't even have to say who is that person. If you say I saw you in that restaurant, and he immediately plays it down, then you're taking a read on it, going, "Okay, like, yeah."
How's he going to big it up though? Yeah, I'm smashing it.
So in your world, what you're doing, you're going, okay,
doing the right,
you get the reading in by going, "Oh, I saw you in that restaurant the other day." That was, and if he just goes straight away, like, "Yeah, food's all right in there. I don't mind." It doesn't mention her.
Yeah, don't
then
mention
he's probably
it.
not cheating because he don't think anything of it.
Just be like,
But if he goes, it was just a homeless woman, and I said I'd buy her food. Like, he starts panicking immediately.
I reckon so. If the read is a bit more defensive, you'd be like, okay, and then you might mention it. Just be like to your friend, by the way, like your dad. I saw your dad the other day, and like I don't want to like cause anything, but I'm saying I saw your dad with this woman. I asked him about it, and he immediately said, if I say anything, he's gonna fucking kill me. I think he's cheating.
That's where my worry had come in.
And I'm going to Dubai.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's where my worry had come in, though. Like the pain you're going to cause your friend, and
the pain.
But like, is it even your?
Is the pain better now, or them finding out 10 years later? Yeah. The pain's the pain. Pull the fucking plaster off.
Yeah.
That's all well and good, but I do like Liam's idea of just going for the hush money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or bribery. Do you know what I mean? Profit off it.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, but split it with your mate.
Yeah, cost of living, mate.
You know fucking split it with your mate.
Yeah, he's like, I can do you on finance. That's it. Lay
away. Get hush money on later.
Right, within 3 years, you've got a fucking balloon payment to pay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
It's all coming out. I want 300 quid a month, and then after 3 years, I want 4.5 grand. All right. What, you got gap insurance?
Yeah, we're talking about cars here, aren't we?
Yeah. What if it's a kick up the arse? He needs to stop cheating, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's seen her and thought, fucking hell, that was
Either
close.
of you ever
like,
cheated?
No.
Okay.
No.
Thankfully, never been cheated on. Well, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
I've been cheated on. Yeah, a few times actually this year.
Did you say you have? You have cheated?
No, of course not. No.
Did you say you have cheated, or you've?
No,
been
I've not cheated. I haven't cheated, but I've been in scenarios where there's been a level of dishonesty, and I just think like honesty is always the best policy. So like, if you're honest with someone, you know exactly where you stand with them, and they know exactly where they stand with you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean it doesn't fucking pinch.
Yeah.
But there's no ambiguity.
And I agree with that. But that's like directly in your life, I know you're a family friend and stuff in this scenario, but like, is it your place to just drop that bombshell, or do you just like, it's not to do with you and it just plays out and you're not involved in any way? You're not, because like at the end of the day, he could just go, she's fucking lying, she's not seen nothing. Do you know what I mean? He could, and then all of a sudden your friends believe in the dad and not you, and then like,
yeah, but like if I've got a daughter and you know she's seen her mate seen me in a restaurant, that daughter's no reason to lie. That fucking mate's no reason to lie at all. Do you know what I mean?
Put yourself in the position of his wife.
So odd.
Put yourself in the position of his wife.
Right, so you're on top.
Yeah. No, like, you stop the fucking laughs, right?
I was going to say, I don't think she really wanted actual advice.
Yeah,
she's already got the hush money.
Yeah.
Do you know what? She should have just named it. Do you know when was this sent?
A few like a week ago.
A week ago, right? Okay.
Ago,
yeah. If I was you, if you're watching, I would go and speak to the dad, and yeah, just get a gauge on it, see how he kind of reacts, and if it is proper moody, then regroup, send another email in, and we'll give you more advice. Right.
Regroup.
I'd take the money. Just take the money.
We'll just get another fucking email in a couple of weeks. It'll just say Tango down. And he's fucking buried her under the patio.
I can imagine her in the kitchen speaking to him, and then his reaction's like a bit shady, and she's got like 50-50. Phone a friend.
Yeah.
Right into a podcast. Yeah, you're doing the right thing, but I just I'd think too much. I'd be like, if it was like my family, or but then your friends are like your family, aren't they? I don't know. I'd just be like, it's not my.
But you could
luckily for you, I don't have a dad.
So
should we do another one?
Yeah. I'm sad now.
Yeah, fuck Fucking hell. Would you want
to make it all about me again?
Would you want a dad, or would you want a dad that cheats? You know what I mean? Like no dad or a dad that cheats.
Not asked either way. No, I'm not answering. I'm saying that it seems to be your reaction.
That's to imagine it.
Yeah, I'd rather have no dad.
No dad.
Yeah. I'd be arsed with that. Your mum fucking crying all the time.
Like, there's. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'd be arsed with that, just fair, casual.
Like, new trainers while I was growing up would have been sick.
Yeah. Guilt money. Yeah. Guilt Christmas. Oh.
When I was working in schools, you would see some kids where their dads were just like.
Sorry to interrupt. The PS5 came out like a year ago.
Yeah, you'd still
that he's still guilty after when I'm 26. Get that guilt hush fucking PS5 there.
Mate, guilt's internal.
Years old. A guilt mortgage, that'd be top. That a guilt deposit on an house.
Yeah, that'd be fucking unreal.
What were you saying about the schools?
It's just the idea of like either having a dad or a shit dad, right? And like, it might sound like I'm on my high horse here, but when I worked in schools, I used to work with kids that had like behaviour problems. You'd see some parents that their dads like were just not arsed with the kids. You're a bit like, are you causing your lad more damage by being in his life than if you weren't in his life? Because like, I feel like when you're a kid, your parents are they are your frame of reference for everything.
Yeah.
And they seem like 2D, very flat people. And as you get older, you see a bit more depth to them. But like this kid I would work with was just like, at 10 years old, could only see himself going into prison. That was it. It was. Well, why would I bother with that? Because I know what's going to happen.
That's where I'm ending up.
Yeah, and you're like, but his frame of reference was his dad had.
What was the crime he thought he was going to commit? Battered a teacher. You're like, woo!
Yeah. How long are you in for? Playtime.
Just sat there with Play-Doh and that fucking.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I just think
left-handed scissors. Green and yellow handle on them.
Twat you with the handles.
The trouble is here, Harry's trying to be really like deep and meaningful.
I'm moving on now.
We're like, fuck these scissors.
Wouldn't it be funny if the
we're just laughing at his fucking situation? I'm sorry,
I do get what you're saying though. Like, you know, but I have no intelligent thoughts on that because I was kind of lucky. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
hard to put yourself in because that's probably much more commonplace than you'd think. But if it's not your situation,
it's difficult,
hard to comment on it because it's so formative to you as a kid, isn't it? Like, it really does ingrain.
It's like a role model, isn't it? And that's the thing. And it's like if you're in a bad spot with it, it's difficult. But go on.
It's fine.
Let's before we play the violin music over the top. Yeah. If you've been affected by any of the issues raised in this episode,
email in at spreadnegativitypod@gmail.com. We will attempt to fix it. We'll get Harry on again. He'll give you some meaningful advice. Okay. So this one says, "Am I the arsehole for letting my son operate the self-checkout? I took my son with me to the store on Sunday. He's 7. I'm a big believer in learning by doing. I like to give my son as interactive a role in things as possible, and if he wants to do something himself, I always at least let him try unless it's unsafe. When we got to the self-checkout, he confidently told me he could do it by himself, so I'll let him. There are about 10 self-checkouts and one line for all the machines, so people don't line up behind individual machines. He was a lot slower than I would have been, but he managed to do it all with my supervision, even the produce. As we started to wheel away, a woman walked up and slammed a grocery basket on the counter. She said, 'Thanks for doing that as slow as possible, arsehole.' I thought that was incredibly rude and uncalled for. Some people are slower than others, it is what it is. There were several other machines being used and freed up, so we can't have made that big an impact on her wait time. Am I the arsehole or was she?"
No, she was the fucking arsehole. What are you on about?
I don't know, mate.
There was free ones.
Fucked.
Are you messing?
No, there wasn't free ones. There was a proper long line.
Yeah, but lad, just be patient.
No, right, okay, don't piss me off. Everyone's a dick in this situation, I feel like. She didn't need to say anything, but also, it's a Sunday, the fucking store's rammed. Why is your kid having the learning experience now? Do it on a Tuesday at 5 p.m. when no one's fucking there.
I wish I had.
You go swimming on a Tuesday. So I can't do that. Yeah.
But we've got shit to do, man. Why does he even need to learn? It's a fucking self-checkout.
No, I think it's good. Learning life skills, genuinely. Like,
by the time he's old enough to use a self-checkout to actually be buying his own shit, like, they'll be obsolete. You look at Amazon at the minute, you go into the store and then you just pick shit up and then you walk out again. By the time he's old enough, he's like, 7 years old? By the time he's 20 and he's buying his own shit, he'll just think of food and it'll appear in his cupboards. He doesn't need to learn this.
Yeah, okay.
And also...
Right, I can't argue with that.
Also...
non-existent technology that hasn't been invented yet.
I can't argue but like, it's going to be there, innit? In 13 years, he's not going to need to operate a self-checkout.
To be fair, it's kind of half there.
That's going to be mad that people overeating on imaginary foods.
I'm fucked. Liam's still a fat cunt somehow.
I've just got a mad imagination.
I made a salad, but I imagined a cheeseburger. Fucked.
But I don't get why he needs to learn, man.
And nowadays as well, I say nowadays, these have been out for years, right? And I hope that I am the idiot here. Like, it blew my mind. I did not know until, like, I'm talking the last year, that those little guns at the start of the shop, I thought that just like, if you were budgeting, you'd scan and you'd price up your food shop so you knew how much it would be as you go. You fucking scan it all as you go along. Yeah. You pack it as you go along, and then at the end, you scan the till and you pay. And your bags are already packed because you've been doing it as you've gone along the shop. Yeah. Is that not?
I've never done it.
Scan and go.
It's just one of those things that I've just always ignored.
Mind, you know. And it's been there for years, and hardly anyone uses it. You see all the fucking scanners there. Change your ways. Yeah. Get your kid doing that. Do you know what I mean? As you're going around the shop,
I walked down
the
yogurt aisle one time, and I saw two people having a fucking the most
happy thing you've ever said.
Like,
the yogurt aisle.
Yeah, honestly. Trying to fight over the last petty falloos.
I'm an onken guy.
Yeah.
And then Harry's like throwing crackers.
Yeah. I've done.
But I don't get it, man. Why does he need to have a learning experience in my time?
Because
it's not though. Kids his age are absolutely melting us on Fortnite. He can learn. He can guess his way around the self-checkout.
Melting us. Are you playing Fortnite?
Phil Ellis is.
Are you playing Fortnite?
I play PUBG, which is like it's like stupid cousin. You know what I mean? Fortnite is like stupid cousin.
You play like games?
Yeah, a little bit.
Fair enough.
But like
games.
I don't want to answer now.
You do, don't you?
Well, you know, I did retire from video gaming for a while because I was a busy guy with too much to do. But you know,
getting his ass kicked by 7-year-old children.
I have been playing the Harry Potter game.
Good.
In my spare time, yes, boss. I like being a wizard. I'm a Hufflepuff, level 25.
Sweet. So what's that mean?
Just means that I've excelled at the game, mate. That's all you need to know. I know the killing curse. So do you want to keep asking questions?
Yeah, or are you gonna?
Avada Kedavra, yeah.
That's it. Yeah,
Avada Kedavra. I'm the meanest Hufflepuff you've ever fucking met, lad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see that yellow fucking cloak and you think, pussy hole? No.
Yeah.
No, one hit kill.
No one.
No, do you know what though? I never got into online gaming. I never got into that like multiplayer thing.
Right.
Are you just not a video game person?
I used to be. I've no.
It's so hard to find the time.
Yeah. No, it's not even time. Like last game I played was Far Cry 5, right, where I like completed the game. But I find it very difficult. I don't have the same relationships playing games as I used to. When I was a kid, I'd play a lot of video games. I used to play like strategy games, you know, like Age of Empires and stuff like that.
Too heady for me. Too
really?
much thinking.
I used to love shit like that.
I'm not. What?
You don't even know what the game is.
I do. You do. You got to build shit. I'm not about that. I want to knock shit down. I want to shoot stuff.
Fucking loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then as I got older, I just had a less draw towards video games. And even now, like I could play it, but if I buy a game, how much fucking money they are? I'd rather spend that money on like seeing a band, you know what I mean? Or just like going to do something, yogurt. You know what I mean? Like I fucking love yogurt, mate.
You don't mean mate.
Absolutely scran yogurt. Honestly.
60 quid's worth for yogurt.
Mate,
I'd be eating good.
Yeah. I would be eating good.
Used to take corners, now he eats them. You know what I mean?
There you go. But yeah, I don't play games massively because you know smash yogurts instead.
Hold before your time.
I used to love them, but it's just like a story in it, like a film or a book or a TV show. But it's just like time is like so.
I get it.
Hard
You're not
to
happy in
come by.
your life, so you immerse yourself into this video game.
Escapism.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I get that, but I do that with alcohol.
With vino.
And then life becomes a video game. And you're like, ah!
In this chapter, I'm on a cruise in Dubai with an Irish Zimbabwean.
and the mad thing is, every time you die, you wake up outside the hospital.
There you go again. I want to be BMX for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so essentially, this woman shouldn't have said what she said because you can think them things, but to say that's an arsehole thing to do.
You hate these fucking parents, man.
If I was a parent,
educate the kids, teach them life skills. Yeah.
If I was a parent and someone said that in front of my child, I'd kick off. I'd be like, right.
Well, you'd be showing a really bad example for your child.
No, you wouldn't. No. There's nothing better.
Yeah, I'm not going to fucking spark them out. But you'd be like, you don't talk to me like that. You don't talk to my child like that. There's other ones you could have used. And if they carry on, I'd be like, you need to grow up. And then I'd say to my kids, just say it to them as well, you need to grow up. And then they'd be like, ah. And I'd be like, stop crying, stop sulking. And I'd just fucking belittle them until they cried in the self-service.
Smash the head against the fucking checkout.
There's no greater feeling as a kid than watching your parents defend you. Have you ever had it?
Yeah.
Where your parent just fucking backs you up in real time.
Yeah.
Strangers used to defend me against my parents, to be fair.
Put him down! He's got you over the balcony!
I have also been, like I said about my dad, right? I used to play football when I was younger, and I was all right. Like, you know what I mean? My dad was a very, very, very good football player, and played for like Manchester schoolboys and whatnot, like gifted player.
Just the way you said it, I don't know why.
But me, I could do a job. You know what I mean? Like I had a left foot, and that was it, right? Yeah. Not fast, but I could cross a ball, strike it. I was just good in the air, but I was not fast, and I played on left wing.
You are a lunatic playing football. We've played like 5-a-sides before.
Oh yeah, he had a fucking pop at me.
Oh yeah,
did I?
Yeah, you came down. Aaron came to play football wearing a duvet that had a fleece on, a fucking zip on it, right? And I was like, and he was just running around like willy-nilly, and I'm just like,
because I just didn't care.
Was he like play the game?
He's like, keep your positions.
Like, you want it to be competitive, otherwise it's boring.
Like, you're scaring me describing it.
Right, okay, well, mate,
I'm a beta bitch.
How did I ever pop at you though? I don't remember.
Look at his face.
That's bad. No, like, I'm not saying you go on the pitch and start nutting people, because I'm definitely not that. But like, you just play to win. Like, you get stuck in. That's what I was always told as a kid. You get stuck in, and I didn't get stuck in enough in comparison to what my dad.
You've ever sided with me.
In comparison to what my dad would consider to get stuck in. So basically,
this is why. This is what you say, and the parents and the kids. This is why, isn't it?
This is when I was a kid. My mum would be like, Martin, you should probably not speak to him like that. Right? Because I'd come off a pitch and my dad'd be like, right, next week.
If you don't win, you're not getting this fucking yogurt. Screaming at you.
Not even that, mate. I went to go get in the front of the car one time. He went, fucking sit in the back. Go and sit in the back. I remember driving home and he said, right, next week we're going to get you a skirt and you're going to start playing fucking netball, right? Because that was shit, right? And
really toxic dad she's got there.
Shit.
Yeah, mate, I'd come off the pitch sometimes in absolute bits. And I remember one time, if I played well, I knew about it. But I remember one time playing football and running down the wing. And my dad would always be like, barking orders on the side. And he said, don't run too fast, Harry. You might actually catch up with the ball. Right, and I remember other parents laughing and being like, fucking hell. And that is like that level of honesty that my dad is the most honest person I have in my life, right? And it's definitely has made me thick-skinned. But
2 seconds ago, he had a pop at me when we were playing football. And he had a fleece on. What did we do? Did I pop at you?
No, we were playing 5-a-side, and I think you said something like, you said, calm down, Dad, something along those lines.
And he's not forgot about it for a year.
Because you got to him because he was being his own dad.
I actually said, I went back to play football, and I said, Aaron's never playing with us again. Never playing again. Because at one point, I was like, he's on your team. He was just running around like hugging people, not even going for the ball, and I'm like,
having fun with friends.
Gee, what an ass am I? He fucking thinks he's playing for the Wanderers or something.
That's what separates. Like, honestly though, I've never been a sports guy. That's what separates. Do you know what I mean? The sports guys are like,
mate,
play to win.
I just don't care at all.
And that's it. I never did.
I'd
stand back by the goalie when we'd have to play footy and PE and just chat shit. Do you know what I mean? Every now and then a ball would come over, and my mate Joe would boot it away because he was an alright defender, and then I'd just carry on chatting shit.
Yeah, well, if you think I'm bad, I used to play with some people that were really competitive. I'm competitive with myself, like massively competitive with myself, like and I enjoy that. But playing on a football pitch, like there were some people I'd be like, you turn into a bit of a knobhead on the pitch, and if you think I'm bad, I mean, you meet some other people and you'd be like, fucking hell.
My frame of reference, though, is just you. You know what I mean? So like, he was a bit of an arsehole today. My feelings.
when we first started doing that comedians football, right, I just said, I can do a job. Like, I'm not anything special. But there were people...
You could turn up with a whistle and
mate, that. No, there were people coming up to me when we were playing, like, how do you like, do you have fucking trials and stuff like that? And I was like, no. Like, I can just strike a ball.
Growing up was a trial.
Growing up was a trial. Yeah.
It was more just like everything he said when he wasn't on the ball. You were like so fucking like shouting. Because I'd be stood there at the back and he'd be like, he's fucking coming towards you. Like, and I wasn't even facing the right way. I'm like,
it's 5-a-side.
I just relate to you in this situation because that's me. But so many people are on, you know what I mean?
Well, do you know,
keep on him, Aaron. What?
Yeah. Just like Yeah, I'm not going to get
Look, he's getting so heated now.
Yeah. No
this is you off your chest.
I'm off. Yeah. Fuck off. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I want to call quits on the club. No, what? Whenever we play five-a-side, because obviously you've only got 5 players. If it was anything other side, any time they've got the ball the other side of the halfway line, I was like, just let them have it. Don't go chasing it, because if you chase it, they'll get spacing behind, right?
Yeah.
And every time we did it, we'd fucking win, right? And then Aaron comes down, and I'm like, Aaron, you keep going to the ball, like just let them have the ball.
Sorry for wanting to kick it. I'm just sorry to play.
I know, lad.
But what he's saying is absolutely right. But in my head, I just no, the ball. And I just
that's me. That's all over, lad.
The first time you came down to play football, it was 4-a-side essentially, because there wasn't enough players.
Which was fucking knackering, by the way. Yeah. It's way worse than 5. I don't play. Do you know what I mean? My cardio shit. But
what size is the?
It's a 5-a-side pitch, so it's not 11-a-side. But like the 5-a-side, naturally you're running, so it's just like let the ball do the work. Yeah. That was the thing, right? I was just like, if they want to have the ball, let them have it that side of the line. Whenever this time they come towards us, we'll just press them. That's all. But we don't go fucking chasing it, and because you're going to be knackered, and if you're knackered, goals start flying in left, right, and centre. And I think after about 5 minutes, we were like 5-0 down.
You're inspiring me. You're making me want to play.
Mate, what you've told me, you're not
you're not allowed.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. It's so fucking sick. There'll be people listening to this going, fucking hell, he sounds like a boring cunt. Just look and let him play. But there'll also be people listening. No, there'll be people listening going, fucking hell, he does sound annoying though, to be fair. He'd like, just do what he says, stick to your position. A bit like be proper purists and take it seriously.
People that are
thought it was just like
kicking off, you sweaty goths, that's why.
That's so true. I am a sweaty goth. You can smell me a mile away the other end of the fucking
your rock
pitch.
star drink. Right.
Oh well, someone gonna run fast, lad.
Yeah, exactly.
I need the energy.
Yeah. Need the electrolytes. Right. I bet you put the effort in if you have the sword of Zelda. We'll turn the game into a quest. There you go. Oh no!
How long's this section been?
You've missed gold.
50 minutes.
Right, so we have to wrap this up dead quick because we just lost that camera there because of our fucking the tension in this room. It got really heated between us and football. So Harry, have you got anything you want to plug?
Yes. Firstly, thank you very much for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, no worries.
I've enjoyed myself. If you've enjoyed listening or watching, you can get me online on Instagram at Harry Standup, but Harry Stachini anywhere else. And I have a podcast as well, which is called the Staff Room Podcast. Basically, teachers send me anonymous stories, and then I read them out to comedian guests. And I realise this is coming out in the next couple of weeks, this episode.
Yeah.
So by the end of April, I'll have a brand new podcast up and running, which is called All Made Up with Lewis Coleman and Ben Hart, 2 comedians. It's mint. Definitely do not miss out on checking it out. So, just get me on socials and you'll see it from there. But, I appreciate you having me on. I've enjoyed myself.
You're smashing it with the clips, mate. I'm loving the Instagram clips. So
thank you, mate. Perception. Wait until
Class.
You see this one about the deaf guy. It's going to go fucking mental. Yeah. It's either that or I'm going to get cancelled by Channel 4. You're not doing any TV appearances between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. ever.
Class. So, Harry Stand Up, All Made Up, and the Staff Room Podcast.
Yeah, All Made Up Pod on socials and stuff like that.
Class. Good stuff. Thanks for coming on, man. Give us 3 things that you hate.
Lack of effort, not pressing the ball, and you if you ever come football again. That's it.